Welcome to the Work in Process podcast. Thank you so much for joining me again today on this episode. And I still have with me in this recording space, it's gracious recording space. I had to fly over as usual. Adedokun Olajire. I call him Ola. He's my brother and my friend, a very good guy. So we're talking about leadership on the previous episode, and it took us about 40 minutes. So we've not even entered the real issue. Thank God he has cleared his schedule for me today. It's such an honor. You made mention of honoring all men.
Yes, honoring all men.
Honoring all men. And I had to pause you there because there's really a lot to talk about in this honoring all men. And given the fact that you went to a private institution, Landmark University, I was also privileged to attend a private institution. I believe it's a privilege. But sometimes it can get to your head, you know. Not even sometimes, most times it gets to your head that, I'm in a private institution. So you basically begin to treat anybody.
That sense of right.
Yes. Then do you know how much I paid for you to wash this toilet? I paid for you to clean. And this is also one of the things I actually preach, this honoring all men. If I call it the relationship with people. Yes, you understand? Yes. That's what I call it. But I want you to talk about it from your perspective as a leader, or while you were on campus. Like, how did it play out for you? This honoring all men stuff. I mean, how did it work for you, one? And also, how did you communicate it to the people you were leading? To make them know that, see, these people that are working for us, they are helping us. So we can't just treat them anyhow. Yes, you understand? They deserve their own respect and all. So, yeah.
Okay. The case of honoring all men, I got to learn that. I thank God taught me early entering the university. I was not like this before. I was rugged.
You are still rugged.
You see, honor all men. I don't know how to put it, but it's just an instruction from God to me. But it's to everybody, even if you are not holding the aim of leadership, you should honor all men. So how did I bring that into leadership? Like I said, from my 100 level, relating with those artisans, the number one, those guys see us as
normal. Yeah.
Because even sometimes I get engaged in their conversations. They say, can't you see how some of your mates are behaving? And I just you see, many of these men, I'm using the word men because some of them are married.
Yes.
They have wife, they have children.
Yeah.
Some are even old.
Yeah.
Now, talking about the people cleaning our campuses, we call them the campus keepers. Some of them have children that are older than me and older than us. And there are some that are even young, that are far, we shake hands. But still, the sense of this person now human being in the too.
Yeah.
Is at a position in his life whereby the distance between us is far.
Yeah.
That does not make him lower.
Yeah, it doesn't make him less of a person.
Yes, less of a person. Because in a private institution, I'm putting on tie and shirt and trouser.
White starch shirt. Like the way Ola. This drift down there every time, white.
And he comes in with a pullover.
Yeah.
To saw the door.
And a Chelsea
nailed and a boot.
Okay. Yeah.
And a boot. And makes him less of a person. No. We are both humans. As a matter of fact, I learned a lot from these guys. I learned how to fix doors from these guys. I learned prices of things from these guys. Guys from 100 level to 100 level in relationship with this guy. So I had that mindset that no, this person is in this position of his life does not make him less of a person.
Yeah.
And does not make me even superior to him.
Yeah.
So this person must be accorded the honor and respect he deserves. Now, relating to some of our all officers too. Some of them are just we are doing BSc. Some of them are just HND holders, of which are very obvious to us.
Yeah.
But still, I've seen students talk to all officers
anyhow.
Yes, there are times you disagree with all officers.
Sure, definitely.
Many times I've disagreed with all officers,
definitely.
and I said, "Sir, no, this is not right. You are not meant to do this." And some of them take it as we are being disrespectful. And me, I don't see it as that. It's just that you have to tell some people, "Sir, this is right and this is wrong," irrespective of how you feel about it. But I've seen some people telling another officer, "It's from the school fees I pay that they are paying your salary. We are the ones paying your salary."
I hate that statement.
And I'm like, like, Abba, that's too far now. That's too far. That's too far. Now, bringing it down to my mates, some people even say that you are in student council, so you be their organ. No, Abba, I'm not your boss in any way because I'm in a leadership position. You are a student. We were first students before we were called or selected
to be leaders.
We were first students. So I have to relate with you as a colleague.
Yeah.
But when it comes, I used to make jest when I got to my final year as vice chairperson. I usually have this suit in my office on my clothes rack in the office where I hang my suit. There are sometimes that emergency meeting comes up and you just have to cheat up. So I have ties and suits
in the office,
but I don't get shirts. I know the
you don't get white.
I know the bar for office. So, and I'll tell them whenever issue comes up, I'm with because some of my colleagues come to the office after class, we come and play, we come and sit down, and we play sometimes. And maybe a matter comes up, and I just jokingly carry my suit, say, "Now, this suit, I enter the office VCM, I enter the realm of the VCM now. I don't promote Olajire, everybody say, okay,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you were first a student
before you became a leader.
I can tell you that students might even want to play on your intelligence and say, "Shebi, you too, you be student now. You supposed to know as this thing they
be."
But guy, that's compromise. There are times you need to switch realms from being a student to the leadership position because there's an expectation on you from the management that put you there. You see, it's funny. Students will tell us, "You people are becoming puppets in the hand of the management," and this. I laugh. Oh, I'm not puppet in your hands when you come to my office and tell me, "Sir, this thing is not right," and I take it up and it works. I'm not being your puppet. But when management says this thing, we should enforce this thing, and we come to your hostel, you are doing
enforce it, you say you're a puppet.
You say I'm a puppet. Thank you. So compromises like that. So there are times you need to switch and tell them, "No, we are in class, but as the vice chairperson student male, I feel this is wrong, and we are not meant to do it, and you are not even meant to do it."
Yeah.
And we address things like that.
So has there been a time that you switched realms?
Many times.
Between you and your friends?
Many times.
That it caused
many times.
issue.
First, when I got into student leadership position in 200 level, a friend came to meet me and said, "Ola, now that you have now joined S House, we will no longer be friends. Like, now you are now a leader."
The person came to meet you?
Yes, personally, a lady. Like, so now that you have now joined S House, we can no longer be friends like before again. I don't know. People just have this
mentality.
This mindset that you are now a leader.
Is here.
Yeah, I'm up here, and they are down. No, it does not work like that. She said a lot of things that day, and I'm like, if that's how you see it, but still, I'm still Ola, irrespective. But there are times that responsibility will be placed on me to act according to the portfolio I carry. You are my friend if you understand that. I can tell you for sure that the higher I went in leadership, although it started becoming slim friendship became slim. People started drawing back at some point because my life became streamlined. I had to be a student and I had to be a student leader. So class, and sometimes I come into the hostel half dead. When I mean half dead, exhausted.
Exhausted, yeah.
Like the only thing on my mind is food.
Yeah.
Food. And you know, my guys, after how I do now, just shout out how I do now. Is it fine? You know, the normal opening of doors to
check
laugh and gist with them was started getting smaller. The chances started getting smaller
because of responsibility,
and some of them started getting angry. But one thing I say is that I have acquaintances and I had friends. My friends understood the demands. And one of my friends then was
of
Stanley,
the office.
My roommate Stanley. Guy, I love Stanley.
Wow.
I love Stanley. We are still in touch. We are still friends. I love Stanley. I can say Stanley was one of the friends I had when I got into leadership.
Stanley stood by you.
Guy, Stanley stood by me. I call him Okoro.
Okay.
I call him Okoro. But at some point, Stanley left landmark at some point. At some point, Stanley left landmark. So I can say I missed Stanley when I got to final year. Because, okay, although I had John too. John was my friend too. You see, sometimes I'll be coming to the hostel half dead. Stanley for don't cook indomie. Stanley, yeah. No, now we are allowed to prepare indomie on campus. Stanley for don't cook indomie. I'll just come in and eat. I said, guys, Stanley, God bless you. God bless you. So he said there were times I switched among my friends. Even with Stanley, that was my guy. There are times Stanley, squatting was against the rule. In the sense that once it is 12, you are meant to be in your own room. You should not sleep over at anybody's room. And sometimes then Stanley does that. And when he comes back, I'll tell him, Stanley, you know you're not meant to be doing this. And I'm a student leader. He does not speak right. That my roommate is flaunting the rules and I am not telling you the right things. If you are doing it, how do I talk to the next person in the next room that he is not meant to be pouring water over the railing downstairs?
Yeah.
If you are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I go change the for him like that and everything gets sorted out. And after that time, that's all.
Wow.
That's all. I just come back after a guy waiting this up. Yes, that's all. For me, that's all. Plenty times. Now, as far as examination malpractice, you know if you ask me question, me I answer you for example. And if I catch you, guy, some people saw it as being you won't send person go out. But because examination malpractice is outright expulsion.
No need for discussion.
No need of although you go to SDC to fulfill righteousness, but you know your lot. If you are caught, you know you are caught.
So that's the end.
I believe putting people in check helps that person. So 1 week to exam, I tell my classmates, please, I want to address you guys. Permit me to address you. I will have spoken to my class rep that please, I want to
address.
Because even as student council vice chairman, I am still subjected to my class rep in the class once we enter the classroom. So if I want to do anything, I talk to my class rep that, Alpha, I think I want to address the class on this issue. I say, Alpha, you can go ahead now. And my class rep will first go ahead and say, okay, so person wants to address us on so and so issue. And I tell them, guys, we are entering into examination week next week. Although the school will still brief us on examination protocols, but our stand on all these things. You shouldn't be. You can defend your grade. You should be able to defend your grade at any time. No microchips. No this thing. You should know that some of us we frown at it when we see you. Even in that meeting where I'm addressing them, you like started hearing,
You're too much.
you're not too much, abeg. And some that won't be able to say it in my presence, go behind and say it. Baba, that guy too much, abeg. Me, some people, if they don't get power like this, but they enter their head.
Yeah.
There was one point on the class group chat. I made a screenshot of somebody telling other members of the class, you guys beware of some people in our class that can sell you because of power. I knew he was talking to me directly. But when people lack understanding, if you lack understanding of a particular aspect of life now, that I give you 2 years, that lack of understanding, if you don't address it, it will show as a fruit. And guy, I'm telling you should, because the guy did not even finish school with us.
Wow.
And he's in deep shit now, as I'm telling you, he's in deep shit now.
Wow.
And I'm praying for him. He's in deep shit now.
Wow.
So you see, the little examination malpractice we do, that's why we have leaders that compromise on standards and values.
Yeah.
Our WAEC, our JAM and everything system now, that is in shambles. The educational system is in shambles. Sorry to say, because there are some structures that are not being laid down. We have special center for WAEC. We have special center. What is special about the center?
It's special.
So those were scenarios where I switch, even within my friends, among my classmates.
And it was costly.
Yeah, it was costly for me because I had to be strong emotionally. Guys said a lot of things. They said a lot of things. Friends said a lot of things. And if you are in a position of leadership, you have to have the spirit of forgiveness. Because people will hurt you. No matter how good you are. So, and you shouldn't be shy of switching.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you have to do the switching.
Yeah. Okay, very nice. Let me ask you this final question so we can round this up so I can get to deal with this mic. For your position, when you were eventually informed that you were going to become the vice chairman male.
Okay.
This is the Work in Process podcast. How did you prepare for that position? What was the process like?
Guy,
take us on a journey.
Sincerely, I have been doing it before. Does not mean you will do it well the next time. I was in student council 200 level, 300 level. I went on IT 400 level. So you should have expected that Aola has been in this system, so he knows how things have been done. But people forget that this is a different portfolio and there are demands on the office. Even as vice chairman, there's a demand for that. So when I was told, although you don't know the result of the selection until the day you are being called, but by the virtue of now some news we still you still hear the words as yes, you say, Olajire, I say now you then pick for BCM, like say now Olajire BCM. You hear, but you are not sure. So number one is don't neglect the place of personal development. Yes, you have to learn what leadership entails, and know that you see the so-called leadership the political system calls leadership is actually different from leadership itself. Leadership to me is putting yourself in the shoes of your followers. And leadership is taking tough decisions, irrespective of what will happen. So I had to learn the act of taking decisions, quick and fast decisions. I didn't neglect the place of personal development. What leadership entails, principle of leadership, the honor part of leadership, then the mentorship aspect of leadership. I took time to discuss with my predecessor how was the office when you were there, what happened, what were the things you were able to do, what were the things you were not able to do, what were your challenges, what were the things you faced or you experienced. Oh, I think what's the political system called godfatherism is what we refer to as mentorship in this aspect. The person tells you what the person went through, the experiences, the challenges, and projects he was able to execute and the ones that were not being executed and why. And it goes as far as telling me how to even relate with management. You know, the management don't think the way we think.
Yeah.
And they don't see things the way we see it. So it says, when you get to this person's desk, this is how you behave. But when you get to this desk, this is how you talk. When you get to this desk, be very careful. Be very careful. And most especially, be careful of students. Don't trust students 100%. Don't stick your neck out for students. I always tell people, don't stick your neck out for students. Because you are a student. So don't stick your neck out for students. Like, find every evidence before you make your decision that this person is not guilty or this person is guilty. Because your decision can decide someone's destiny. So those were things I was able to prepare myself for. Because I still had time with my predecessor even after being announced. Because the system in a way is like, okay, these people are leaving the university so month. So they hand over maybe a month before. So they are still on campus, clearing their deck. So I have a counter with them. We talk, okay, sir, this issue. I'll be going, the handing over has been done. So going through this thing, going through the handover note, I will have read some things. So I'll just run back to that meeting that, sir, this thing I read it. But can you explain this? Can you explain that? You see, mentorship is very important when it comes to leadership.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be properly mentored. Now, plus your mentorship, you now have your personal assignments to do, to learn, to read. So you see, it's a difficult process, and I saw reasons why some people. I've seen people that are qualified for a particular portfolio, they reject it. Say, no, sir, I'm not interested because of the work. Guy, you mean you read academic book and you still have to be conscious that you are a leader on campus and students are looking at you, they come to you for... You see, it's funny when people believe you can solve everything. And so when you don't have answers to their problem, they paint you like the guy is not competent. It's very funny. Students, like, I said the pipette, this thing between management, they are very funny. Students are very funny. They forget that you are a student too. Students forget that you are students. So you should not even forget that you are a student. Students forget you are a student. Student wants to be reading in the hostel and you addressing their own issues. So they said that maybe a student is doing something in the hostel and there's power outage. The first place they come to is your room.
Yeah.
They come to my room and come and knock. Have you seen him? Alpha, waiting to our jail now. They expect me to leave the
your own book
and what I'm doing and go to the powerhouse and say, sir, what's going on? Oh, Nkolo battery, so thing, and I've been calling the power station. They've not been able to bring this. So, okay, what do we want to do? Is it battery? Okay, can we go and get the battery? Okay, I call for the student council vehicle. I take the key. I drive the man to power station. Carry the battery back there. I became a lot of things. I became carpenter. I became electrician because the VCM office is in charge of all the hostels. How many hostels we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have eight halls of residents, and the VCM is in charge of all the residents. all the halls of residence. So whenever there is a challenge, if they can't get across to the Directorate of Student Affairs on nights, they look for the VCM. There are times around 12:01, I go to 200 level hostel. Maybe I hear a noise from the hostel because some the hostels are not far
from each other.
I hear a noise, or somebody wakes up and says, "Listen, I hear one noise for 400 levels." Say, noise, what's going on? The security should be able to handle it. And before you know, you're hearing uproar in the hostel. I have to drive down the 100 level hostel. And you know now, students, when they see SRC presence,
they calm down.
They calm down, and you ask them, "What's the challenge? What's the issue?" They tell you, "Sir, this is it. Okay, we'll address this issue daybreak. Can you guys just go back? Don't disturb the peace of the university. People are trying to sleep. People are trying to." Now then they calm down. And you see those kind of things. But students forget that you do all those things for them.
Yeah.
And they believe you should be able to address every problem they bring to you. You cannot.
Yeah.
No matter how well read
you are,
or God helped you are.
Yeah.
You have to refer some cases.
Yeah.
Like, okay, the dean will handle it.
You carry it from your own head.
They just clear
put it on another person's head.
Clear for your. There are times they come to my office and say, "Have you seen the chairman about this?" Say no, because I'm just coming and so I just say, "Let me help you."
I think you should go and.
I say, just go to the chairman's office.
Go and check with the chairman.
If the person lives like this, I park my load.
I run away. Wow.
I run away from the office.
So you really you've had a lot of experiences. From what I can decipher
with students.
I have one question, but two questions came to my head.
Okay.
Let me ask it, because should I bust your head? We have exceeded our time.
You cannot bust my head.
Let me bust your head. We have exceeded our time. But this is the question I want to ask. Or let me ask the two questions. No, they are very different questions. The first one, how have you been able to transition from leading students to now? You know, I get that students are people, they are human beings, yes. But you know, there's a bit of difference between leading in a student community and leading in this kind of system that we are.
Okay.
So how have you been able to transition, like from being a student leader, so to say, to now being a real world, real life leader, so to say? Well, I don't know if you hear what I'm saying.
The student setting is also a real life setting.
Yeah.
So people should stop. You say, he was a leader of students now. Students should be subjected to him because he's their leader. Students are not subjective. I'm telling you the truth. Students, I'm saying it, students are more even difficult to handle. You expect students to be adult, Abi?
Yeah.
Oh God, no, not all of them. But in the outside world, they are adults.
Yeah.
You know, this discussion, there are some things I just decided to cut off, cut off. Because if you're an SRC member in Landmark University, there are decisions you take that even the staff on campus will not be okay with. And you get a feedback from that. So what's the difference? There were toes I had to step on that were no students' toes. So that were not student toes. There were people I had to look up to and say, "Sir, no, this cannot work. The students will not be comfortable with this." Because yes, I'm a student leader, but I'm also a student. I'll go to the hostel after I leave this office.
Yeah.
And I'll also not be comfortable with it. And the person is hell-bent on saying, "This my way must pull through."
Yeah.
There were people I had to look up to for the sake of students. There were people the SRC had to look up to for the sake of students. So what's the difference? You see, humans are humans. It's just the transition you're talking about is just phases. of my life. Now, coming out is part of the process and it's part of the learning. That is why, like I said, mentoring is very important.
Yeah.
You have to, this position I'm entering into, someone was there before. Or even if it is a new position, it might be new in that setting, but not new to the outside world. There's nothing new under the world. So you have to learn. You have to be discreet, wise, diplomatic, and uncompromising. You see, those words are very deep.
Very deep words. Very deep.
You know, some people take being diplomatic as compromising. But there are times being diplomatic will save you, save the people you are leading, save the whole thing in general than going head-on collision.
Yeah.
I think those were things I even learned outside the university environment. There were times I handle issues head-on. And then my chairman would say, Ola, you are too rash in your decision. You should have done this, you should have done that. Although we had our outcome, but we stepped on we did a lot of things.
Yeah.
And you are too rash. And after that, I'll calm down and I'll see reasons with
the chairman.
Because I relate with him based on the office and outside the office. We are friends in office, but he is my chairman. But when we leave office, he's still my chairman.
But now your guy.
But now my guy now. So if we discuss something in the office and we several arguments, went out of his office, I just left his office. Like, guy, talk. No, I'm not approving this, and this will not fly. You know, those kind of things. Why did you do that, guy? Like, chairman, I'm sorry. I leave angrily. Outside the office system, say, guy, the guy. Don't be so. This. You didn't just understand what I was saying. Now, so person they handle this thing. So, you might still be hell bent on them. We'll not involve some of our guys.
We'll
not involve some of our guys. Say, now waiting and be tell chairman be this. And now waiting they see this. Waiting you feel. Glory, you talk. Because Glory was our student chaplain there.
Okay.
Glory, you talk. Waiting you feel. Glory say, chairman ba. Now so I say that's why I know say. Emeka, you waiting you feel about that because Glory na pastor, you know.
You know one talk and wait.
You know one time. Glory go just Emeka go just talk and sometimes issue gets sorted out there. You see, so I got out and understand that there is the person of the office. And you must, you see, I got out to see that somebody might be 20 years old and is your guy.
Yeah.
And you are like 30. So you now want to say age.
Age, yeah.
That it does not work like that too. You will calm down for the office. And the person in the office. See, but if you have been playing the principle of honor all men, it will not be difficult. Because he is a man, he is my oga. Let's put the age aside. The office is there. If I don't honor him, I honor the office. So you know that if issues are not sorted out in the office, there are times your oga don't lose guard because oga, how you take see
this matter?
So this was what you mean. Okay. Tomorrow for office, we'll handle it in the office. So being diplomatic when there are issues going on, the wisdom to handle issues is very, very, very important.
Very crucial.
So, and it's part of the learning process. It is something you have to learn, or else you get yourself killed. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mean physically killed.
Yeah, understand.
Professionally killed. Academically murdered.
They'll destroy your
Yeah.
So you have to be very wise about it.
You have to be very wise.
You don't have them to direct.
Guy, be sincere. You see, when people know when you are being sincere and when you are not being sincere. So be sincere. Wherever a case is brought up where you are not there, you will have people to do. Even if you have people that like you have people to defend you. No. This guy is a very sincere man.
Yeah.
And I think this is it. Don't, if you compromise once, Baba is finished though. Because they will, that boy, he was the one that helped us to run this thing that time. So you should be able to do. The same people giving you that work, they will not trust you. When they have serious work to do and they need somebody trusted to handle it, your name will never come up. Why? Because he had compromised once or twice for us now. But this one, we don't want anything to tamper with the integrity of this work. So we need somebody with integrity that can do this. So those were the ways I transitioned. I don't joke with mentorship. You can call me foolish. You can call me stupid. You can call me he's doing boy. But when I see this person has it and can actually take me through the process, and it will be easier because mentorship makes things easier for you. My dear, I'm going to learn under the person. Guy, I will subject myself to make sure the person teaches me and let me know the nitty-gritty of what he entails and learn from the person. So I believe the problem people have, student leaders have, when they leave, especially the private institution. The SUG people in the federal schools, they already mingle with. Let's not go there. And they see people from the private school as Jew guys. Now the Jew guys, they know small children. It's a lie, they're no small children. And they see people as Jew guys. You see, there are huge differences, but what affects us mostly is that we benchmark our learning. Once we leave student leadership position, we now put it there as a benchmark that, I'm done with leadership system. You don't learn about leadership again. You don't grow. They now face work, professionalism and career. They've forgotten that there is even leadership in those aspects in those sector and aspect of their life.
Wow. All right. So in 3 minutes, I totally didn't stop you. In 3 minutes, what's your greatest, or let me say major? I intentionally decided to ask this question as the last question.
Okay.
Your your greatest major failure as a leader. I don't want to ask you if you fail or you not fail, but I know there's so what's your greatest failure? Your major failure? Like looking back now, you're like, I'm a guy. That was a failure.
That was a failure.
Yeah, like it was a flop. No, I don't want to show my way. I learned from it. What is it? What's that one thing?
Or something. What you mean is something you felt I should have done better. Is that what you mean?
No, something you failed at.
Something I failed at.
Yes, you failed at it. Like I didn't. Okay, well, fine. I didn't do this well, so to say.
I didn't do this well.
Yes, like this was not done properly.
This is painful though.
Yeah.
Should I say this? Yeah.
Okay, no. If you, I already wrote it down here. That was the last question I was going to ask. But if you don't feel comfortable with it, then
should
that's
I
fine.
say this here because it's involving somebody else, and I don't know who will listen to this podcast.
Okay, can you not mention names?
I can. Yes, I will not mention names, but still, it's something direct and very
that people can.
Yes, you can
decipher.
You can decipher. But you see, one thing I'll say is, when it comes to selection of leadership, where people are not voting, they both have their backsides and blind spots. When you are selecting, when you are asked to select, or you are picking a successor, and one has to be very careful because there are laid down rules, structures, and vision, mission, and principle that each office represents, and has to be carried with much integrity and seriousness. There are things that needs to be built upon, not scattered, and to be, the Nigerian system here. This is where you see a governor starts a road and leaves the position. The new one will not continue the project. And we can start his own flyover. We're not feeling waste of resources, waste of everything. So I think one thing you should do as a leader is do not fail to mentor the next generation, either good or bad. And don't want to be liked. No matter what you do, people say it to you. As a leader, he's a nice leader. We'll still see people that will say that guy a bad guy. It was not good. Like I said, there were tough decisions I had to take that when I sit back, I'm like, what if I would have handled this better? But as at then, those were the decisions to be taken. And if you do not take those, take decisions when it's needed. As leaders, majority of your decisions will be tough. But one thing I know, I'm not saying I failed at mentoring the next generation. No, I had people I mentored that are still on campus. I know your brother is still on campus now.
If on campus. He's still on campus. Yeah.
There are people I mentored that are still on campus. And many of them that still reach out to me individually, in groups and everything.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, when it comes to succession, and you have power over your succession, pick right. Pick someone that can build on what you have done. I think people should get what I'm saying already.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for coding that last part.
One thing I want to say now is about decisions.
Okay.
And is what most leaders find hard.
Okay.
Leaders that are at the level of which you are interviewing me for.
Yeah.
Right now. Maybe you are leading over a group of people, be it in church, maybe a youth gathering, or in school, or head of one department or the other, or association. Majority of your decisions will be tough, and not everybody will be okay with it. Do you understand? So, take decisions based on values, principles, and posterity. I learned it from a friend. I wanted to do something. That thing was very bad. I knew it was very terrible, but I wanted to do it. And I didn't want to do it. So I asked all of my trusted friends, or some good man. I asked also, if you were to take a decision on something, what are the factors that will determine your decisions? And also laughed, very unserious person. Also laughed and said, take decisions based on your values and principles. I said yes. At that point, someone was telling me that thing. The thought of doing that thing died.
Wow.
Thought of doing it died. But when I left also, I went to do it. I went back to do it. I did that.
So that means you're not listening to him. The thing entered you, but it not really.
Also, it was not that what he said was not relevant, because I still use that principle till today. What was something? He said that to me in the year 2018. And I still use it till now. Take tough decisions. Guy, there were decisions we took. I took that but they were the best decision for the student body,
the progress of the student body,
as at that time, for their safety, for our own safety, and for the integrity of the Student Representative Council. So if you are taking decisions just for yourself, forgetting that the chair, you will not even carry it to your house. You will leave the chair there. Somebody else will sit there in that office, and they will always refer back to the office.
Yeah.
Is it not that time in the chairman's office that they would have forgotten that the person that did that thing had left chairman, but they will always say chairman's office.
Yeah.
So take tough decisions based on the value and principles of the organization.
I think that's a very good place to end it. Take those tough decisions based on your principles and your values. There's one nice book. I've not read the book, but the book has been on my list since. I have the hard copy.
But good values and principles.
Sure. Yeah, sure. I have a particular book. What's it? Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss or something. Very popular book like this. If you type it, if once you check the book online, you will know the book. Never Split the Difference. A very good book on decision making. I have not read it, but I know it's a good book because I've watched several like clips on the review and all. And I have the book on my to-read list. Bro, if not for this mic issue, I don't sit down. But the thing because the thing was not prepared for today, But thank God the one you had on was the okay one. It was still very, very okay. I know we still have another one. But thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming to the Work in Process podcast. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, your insight.
Thank God.
I know a lot of people will be wanting to check out, okay, where is this guy? Where can we follow him? Where can we? Where the people? These are deep stuff. Where the people see you?
Where the people see me?
Yeah, like where can people just link up with you also? Because you don't know where this can reach out.
Well, Instagram.
Yeah, most of you landmark covenant people now there you did.
Yeah, Instagram. You can access me on Instagram. Olajire _Adedokun.
Olajire, very simple guy.
Yeah, when you put Olajire, it pops up my picture already, my name.
On our pride now, on our vanity now.
It pops up my name, but Facebook, no.
Okay.
My Facebook, this thing has not been active in a long time, but I could reach out to you on Instagram. LinkedIn, the same name.
Oh, okay.
On LinkedIn, Olajire Adedokun on LinkedIn.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Don't take it for granted. You're really amazing. That's why I came here. I had to come by myself.
I enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. So thank you so much, guys, for listening to this episode of the podcast. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.